Welcome to Underqualified. Yep. Oh, okay. That's fine. Welcome to Underqualified and Over It. I'm your host, Cindy, and joining me as always is Alice.
Hi.
In this podcast, we are over-opinionated and unfortunately allowed to talk. So sit back, lower your expectations, and let's get into it. To start things off, I heard back from my mom about the movie, about Iron Lung. And I have some notes. I was going to call her while we were recording, but she did not want to be recorded. So I just wrote down some of the bullet points that I have here.
Okay.
She started off with saying the movie was darker than she's used to, which is fair. I did mention in, I think, episode 1 that there was a lot of blood, so it might have been too much for her. Turns out I was right. She did say that there were a lot of elements that were really, really creative about the way that the movie was like all done in the Iron Lung set itself. And she said that there were you could tell it was developed from a video game, and that she saw the different elements of the game that pulled through the film throughout. She wanted me to emphasize that is a compliment for some reason. She said one of the things that she really liked was the, again, spoilers, if you haven't seen it, just skip to whatever the time marker is that we're not talking about this anymore. She said one of the scenes that she really liked was like how when he was cast into the cave system, that he mapped everything out and he was using the pages to create, like, to widen the grid and everything. She was a little bit disappointed that they didn't show the planet more, because I grew up in a very Star Wars, Star Trek family, and so you always get to see the planet, so she would have liked to have seen the planet. She did say that Markiplier reminds her of Kylo Ren as well. Which I
do not see that.
It's probably just like the long hair thing, to be honest, but I don't think that is necessarily, I think that's a compliment in my opinion. I don't think that's an insult. So she said that it's a little confusing about whether he was in reality or when he was dreaming, and she said it was already a little cloudy. So having that added layer just made things a little bit more confusing. She said that it felt like a cross between Alien and Creepshow, which I've never seen.
I've never seen it either.
It apparently is a show from the 80s. So
I have to give that a watch.
Yeah, no, she sent me a link. So after I got off the phone with her, she sent me a link to watch the trailer for Creepshow. So maybe we'll have to do a review of Creepshow or something. Overall, I walked out of that movie theater thinking that she would love this movie. And after talking to her, I don't think she hated it. But I don't think she was its biggest fan. She thinks it was really, really well done for like a passion project and for the guy's first movie, but she thinks that he maybe needs to get a little bit better at telling the story from the perspective of someone who doesn't know anything about it. I guess to an extent I can agree with her. I think that Markiplier maybe leaned a little bit hard on his audience already knowing some of the background and some of the lore. But yeah, so we did hear back. She did go and she did take my brother, who apparently my brother also didn't like the movie and was very confused as to why I thought she would like it. So, at least she gave a decent review. So I know she actually went to go see it.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least she actually went to go see it, and
right.
actually came back to us with something rather than going, oh, we didn't actually go and see it. So it was nice that she helped support him by going to see it.
And basically...
help support the cause.
Exactly. Basically, I bought 3 tickets, if you think about it.
Yeah. Technically.
Because there was my ticket, and then I forced my mom and my brother to go see it. So therefore...
Oh.
Well, okay.
Do the maths. 4 tickets.
Well, yeah, Kenny doesn't count.
Because your husband also went.
Okay, fine. Then I only bought 2 tickets because technically my husband bought both mine and his. So, for all of you that were waiting with bated breath for my mom's reaction to the film, there you have it. What's that face for?
Oh, there was something spiky in my tights.
Oh, okay.
Every time I sat down, like I was getting poked in the bum by a bit of crud.
Oh my gosh! No, don't use the word crud. Ugh.
You can cut this out.
No, it's staying. So, even though we're doing a bulk recording, what have you been up to lately?
I've been learning how to crochet.
And so we have talked about this previously because I don't know if you guys know about this, but we actually hang out with each other outside of the podcast. You said that there was a difference between American crocheting and UK crocheting.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna lie, when you explained it to me, I wasn't listening. So now you get to explain it to me again.
Okay, so in English crocheting, our single crochet is your double crochet.
Oh, okay.
But there is definitely a difference. Like, the way that we say what a single, a double, a triple is, because you guys do half doubles.
Oh.
Whereas we don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
We do single, double, triple, treble, triple.
Treble?
Or whatever, I don't know. I've been watching some videos on it, on like TikTok and YouTube, and I'm there like, by the way, we're doing it American style. I'm like, what's the difference? And then I looked up the difference. I was like, oh, so they just call things different things. So if you start like doing like a crochet pattern, and halfway through you've been going, oh, that's a single stitch, and actually it's meant to be a double stitch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've done it wrong, and then you get halfway through and you're like, this doesn't look right, and it's like, oh, it's because it's American.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. Now I have to start all over again.
It's kind of like how you guys called the ground floor the first floor. Or no, you call it the ground floor, whereas we call the ground floor the first floor. Yeah. And then first we called second and third. Yeah. So on and so forth. And my cats are chasing each other around the apartment. So
they have zoomies.
Yeah. Well, he has a zoomie. She doesn't want to be touched. So if you hear them...
aren't we doing an American versus English subject at some point?
There's probably going to be an American versus English version of literally everything. Because the more that I live here, the more that I realize you guys are weird. It's called a sidewalk because you walk on the side. Okay?
Pavement.
That's what it's made out of.
It's paved.
Oh, man. Okay. So, for this week's episode, I decided to do what everybody else did, the basic bitch thing of reading Reddit stories to you from subreddits that you don't frequent. Most of these, actually all of these, come from Best of Redditor updates, so we'll have some good conclusions, hopefully. When I thought of doing this, I forgot that I would have to read out loud. So, that being said, I have 3 stories pulled up here. I don't know if we'll get to them, all of them. There's going to be some trigger warnings and things like that. So we have my quote-unquote friend took advantage of me while I was in the hospital. We have my boss got weirdly aggressive about winning a game and now keeps claiming I'm angry about it. And then We have I, 18 female, came across my teacher, 30 something male, in a video game and discovered a side of him I've never seen before. So, up to you where you want to start.
Let's go with the video game one. I'm really interested in that one.
Okay.
Because, I mean, is it going to be a good side? Is it going to be a bad side? What's going on?
Best of Redditor updates, so I very sincerely doubt that it's going to be the good side. But I like that I knew that was where you were going to go because I didn't even click away from this one. I was like, this is the one she's going to choose. All right, so here's the original post. This coming from Relationship Advice. This was posted during February of 2020, and I believe that the OP updated sometime during the summer, so during the peak of COVID. So that's something that we need to keep in mind when thinking about this one. I, 18 female, came across my teacher, 30-something male, in a video game and discovered a side of him I've never seen before. This is a really strange situation, and honestly, a little bit funny, but it's been bothering me for the past couple of days, and I don't know what to make of it. I also wasn't entirely sure which sub to put this on. It is a relationship between teacher and student, teacher and school, and so on. On Thursday, I was playing a game called Overwatch on Xbox, and I was in the team chat, but I wasn't talking in it. I was queued with one of my friends, and we were in our own separate Xbox Live party. The reason we went to the team chat also, though, was because we wanted to hear callouts since it was a competitive game. Anyways, people are talking like normal, and this one guy on my team, who, you can guess who it turned out to be from my title, started arguing with the others and yelling a bunch of racial and homophobic slurs towards everyone in the team. This is pretty normal on Xbox, unfortunately, but this guy was going absolutely crazy. He was repeatedly screaming and calling people the N-word and saying some pretty nasty things to people. It was so vile, I can't even bring myself to repeat it. Like, next level shit. Again, my friend and I weren't talking, just listening. But I was saying to my friend how this guy kind of sounds like my math teacher. And sure as shit, I took a look at his profile and it's him. His Xbox profile photo is literally a selfie of him, and he has his location on his profile. I say this to my friend and we start bursting out laughing just from the absolute shock. The thing is, though, coming to school and being in his class has been really weird. I can't look at him the same, and I feel a bit uncomfortable too because I myself am Asian, and there's a variety of races in my math class. I'm sure there are in his other periods too. I'm not saying it wouldn't be alarming if this wasn't the case, but it certainly enhances it. I'm so disgusted by him, and he doesn't know that I was in his game and know what he acts like online because, again, I never spoke in the voice chat. I took a capture of his profile and have it saved, but I'm not sure what to do about this or if I should even do anything at all. Do I tell someone at the school? Am I overreacting? Some of the things he said were directed toward me, but he doesn't know I was a student of his. Does this really make it okay, though? This is so weird. I want to see what other people say.
What the Oh, I mean, number one, like, yes, that crap happens. Number one, I'd be reporting him on Xbox straight off for that kind of language within that kind of game, especially in TeamSpeak, because you don't want to hear that. Yeah, regular stuff like calling people's mums and stuff like that, fine, because I grew up in COD lobbies.
Right.
Right, I'm used to that sort of stuff. So if I was on Overwatch and I was playing and I got stuff like, "Oh, your mum's this, that, and the other," blah 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 blah, or I'll sleep with your mum tonight," blah, 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 blah. That's normal, right? But complete and utter racism and horrible language. I'd be number one reporting him to Xbox. And number two, as soon as I heard him using that stuff, I would have been using a screen grab to record it. And then as soon as I found out that it was my teacher as well, I'd be taking it into the school and saying, this is what he's like after school. Yes, it's not your responsibility for how he is in his downtime, but do
Right.
you really want somebody that is using racial slurs teaching kids that are of different races?
Yeah.
I don't think it's appropriate. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, it's to me, like, you and I both, well, you probably more than me, grew up and knew what, like, Call of Duty lobbies and things, especially in, like, the early noughts and, like, you know, later into, like, the 2010s. It got crazy in there. But I feel like the majority of people who were in those lobbies saying all manner of heinous things kind of grew out of it. And the fact that this man he's still acting very childish, it's crazy to me. Like, he's supposed to be teaching children when he himself cannot control his temper enough to handle losing, because that's what it sounds like. Sounds like he needs to get good.
It gives me, I'm going to break my Xbox controller and throw it at my screen energy.
It's giving Kyle his hand through the drywall, his fist through the drywall, Monster Energy kind of thing.
And at the age that this guy is and the fact that he's teaching kids, I just don't think it's good for somebody like that. Because what if a kid, like, suddenly, like, aggravated him in any way and he just flew off the handle? You don't know that he couldn't do that in front of a load of kids. He might be able to, but if he can't do that to a load of strangers over a bunch of ones and zeros, what's he going to be like when he loses his temper in front of loads of kids?
Exactly. So we have a comment here. It says, another teacher checking in with an opinion here. Yes, it should make you uncomfortable. Yes, you should report it in some way. Teachers are public servants and mentors. There are some behavior limits that apply no matter if we're on the job or not. Racism and verbal abuse absolutely go in that category. Report what you remember with accurate details and any supporting evidence you may have. Write it down and keep a copy. Don't worry about it from there. The district makes the call if the guy keeps his job or not, gets written up, or some other discipline. They need documentation like your statement if they're going to be able to hold this teacher to an acceptable standard of behavior.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
It goes along the same kind of things that I said. Really.
Yeah.
Is there an update? Did she report him?
So all of these come from Best of Writer updates, so there is always going to be an update. We'll get a conclusion. OP goes on to say, hello everyone, I made a post in February regarding my friend and I meeting my teacher in an Overwatch match and having him shout racial and homophobic slurs at us, unknowingly speaking to two of his students. The original post's comments are still up, but I'm pretty sure the mods deleted the text. You can read it here. Basically, after I made that post and read the comments, I came to the decision to go to my guidance counselor with my friend and give her the hypothetical of this happening. She let us know that we should dismiss our wariness of the situation and told us that this is a very serious matter. I just said that I was very uncomfortable and wasn't sure what to do. I told her the teacher's name and she said she would, quote, take care of it. Day after that, we saw him in class again, seemingly normal, but that was the last time. The day after, he was gone. Our class actually ended up merging with another one, and we shared that teacher until we had to leave the school due to the virus, of course. I was never informed about what exactly happened to him, but he hasn't been at my school and hasn't been teaching during the quarantine either, since I brought it to my counselor's attention. I assume he lost his job. I was kind of shocked at his honesty because it was an accusation, really, since I had no proof other than the screenshot of his profile, but maybe he owned up to it. I'm not sure. When it was fresh, people were kind of curious as to where he went. I kept my mouth shut. I really didn't want to spread things around. I'm now graduated and out of high school. My brother is still in high school, and I won't have to worry about this man possibly getting him or any other students he might be prejudiced against. I haven't had anyone harass me or my friend, so I have to thank my counselor for keeping things confidential, as the situation was just uncomfortable all around. Thank you everyone for giving me advice. I will now be signing off this account for good. I honestly forgot that I even made this post until randomly remembering it this morning. My messages are blown up from February. Sorry for taking so long to update.
Yeah, so that, for me, that says to me that a couple more students might have interacted with him on Overwatch. And being as his details were on his Xbox profile as well, they would have found out straight away. And especially if they, like the OP stated, that they recognized his voice, other people would have recognized his voice as well. And you never know, another teacher might have been playing Overwatch and heard it as well. Yeah. And recognized his voice. So it might not just have been students that reported him, it might have been another teacher.
All right. Which one do you want next? My boss got weirdly aggressive about winning a game and now keeps claiming I'm angry about it, or my friend took advantage of me while I was in hospital?
Yeah, let's go with the hospital one.
Okay.
Like, how did they... I want to know how they took advantage of the, like...
So, this one comes from r/entitled people. If we have any trigger warnings, we'll put them in here. Trigger warning, this story has discussions of abuse, discussions of infidelity, drugs, and animal abandonment. All right. My quote-unquote friend took advantage of me while I was in the hospital. I was away from my home for a month for a planned surgery plus recovery. This was a very intensive surgery. I'm 6 weeks out right now, and I can still barely walk. At the last minute, my hired pet sitter canceled on me, and I was desperate to find a replacement. I offered that money to a friend who was having housing difficulties. She was to take care of my house and my pets. I let her stay in the home while I was gone, and I even bought $300 worth of groceries for her. The agreement was for her to take care of my kittens and fish, and to have the house tidied up before I got home. My car would be there in case of an emergency, but otherwise, please avoid driving it. It's a lease, and I have an allotment of miles I can drive before I have to pay extra. After I was admitted to the hospital, she moved her own cat in, and also her boyfriend in. When I got home, my house was an absolute disaster. Dishes were piled up in the sink. It took me 4 loads to clear. Dishes and leftover food scattered around the house. Cat vomit left to dry on the floor, bags of cat litter clumps in the hallway, half-full trash bags left in the entryway, stains on the couch, floors and counters filthy. There was a 3-foot circle of wood ash on the floor around the fireplace. They used up about 80% of my winter wood pile, so now I don't have enough wood to last me through the rest of winter. So here I am, post-surgery, barely able to walk, scrubbing floors, doing dishes, taking out the trash, sweeping, mopping, and vacuuming. But there's only so much I can physically do before I'm in massive pain. Well, you guessed it. I have been in massive pain every night since that first night, doing too much, trying to clean up after her. It hasn't even been a week. She tried to negotiate with me to stay at my house for several more weeks or longer, to, quote, help with the kids and take care of you. No, not a chance. But I'm so weak right now that I had to play it as tactfully as I could. What resulted was her staying an extra 2 days, her useless boyfriend sitting on my couch, eating my food, watching me clean up, and not offering to help. She, at least, cooked food for me the next day. I called my 2 besties, a married couple, and asked them to come by to ensure these 2 left my house when the lift arrived to take them home. I told them hours beforehand to pack up and be ready to leave. They waited until 10 minutes prior to finally start packing, and the Lyft driver had to wait a half hour for them. As they were leaving, the boyfriend was questioning my friend and asking him how long they were staying. He gray-rocked with excellence. The boyfriend was all, I'm just concerned about her, and I just want to make sure she has the help she needs, and I'll be back up to help out as much as I can. That asshole did absolutely nothing to help and made everything harder on me. As soon as they were gone, my real friends sent me to bed and helped clean up my kitchen and living room. My kids also helped out. Even with that, I would still end up having to spend some time over the next several days cleaning up after them. I still haven't tried to remove the couch stains, but at least my son vacuumed all the crumbs and such out of the cushions and cleaned up the fireplace. And then I discovered my car. I had given her permission for 2 non-emergency trips into the city about 30 miles away. She also admitted to using my car, quote, a little bit while I was gone. I was too weak to make a fuss out of it. Well, turns out they drove my car over 1,100 miles. These parasites took absolute advantage of me while I was at my weakest. So today I sent a text requesting that they pay me 30 cents per mile of unauthorized use, which adds up to $255. I'll either get some of the money back for my troubles, or I'll scare them away so badly that I'll never have to see or deal with them ever again. Either way, it's a win. Any thoughts?
So first off, right, as soon as I got home and saw the house was in a state, number one, I'd be going apeshit. Even if I was tired from the surgery and recovery, I'd be going apeshit. Number two, I would be calling a cleaning service, and then I would be billing them for it.
Yeah.
Then I would be taking the noting down what my car was like as well. I'd be billing them for the entirety of those extra miles. And if they weren't going to pay for it, I'd be taking them to court and suing them.
For me, what I would have done is I'm immediately calling the cops.
Yeah.
Because I need to have a case opened up against them. I don't know what exactly you would tell the cops. And then doing exactly what you said, hiring cleaning service and suing them for
damages.
Yeah, for damages to property, things like that. I would be getting hold of the leasing company for my car and telling them what happened, and as well as like what I was doing to fix it. All right, so here's the update. I think the update came relatively quickly after everything. OP says, I didn't expect an update to happen so quickly. Honestly, I didn't expect an update at all. You may call me naive, and you're probably right. I just always try to see the best in people and hope they choose to be good. It's time to use some names. Her name is Raven. I don't know if it's her real name, but that's what she introduced herself to me as. And that's how I know her. Her boyfriend is Angelo. The cat's name is Alvin. He's a sweetheart. Bit of background on me. I grew up in an abusive household, one of those, quote, never rock the boat homes where the image was more important than anything else. If someone harmed me, hurt me, insulted me, anything, and I got upset, I was forced to apologize to them. My dad is also an explosive man. He was fine most of the time, except for the times when he wasn't. When I was 18, he strangled me. I fled to the army, got away for 4 years, sent to war, got PTSD. My dad has only assaulted me a few times since over the years, the most recent being last June. The time before that was last February, and he left bruises on me. I ended up marrying an emotionally unavailable person who would later become a serial cheater and blame me for the affairs. For years, I accepted that blame, tried to change myself and make myself better so they wouldn't cheat anymore. I finally filed for divorce at the end of 2024. When I called my mom for support, she took the side of my ex, downplayed the affairs, and told me to cancel the divorce and beg my ex back, quote, for the sake of the kids. It took me a long time to be able to admit to myself that none of this was my fault, and most of that was just this past year while I've been in therapy. Despite everything that happened, I always blamed myself and not them. I tried over and over to explain how they harmed me, but it never worked. It's not my fault that I've been abused, but it is my responsibility to take ownership of my healing. Fault is past focused. Responsibility is future focused. We learn from the past, but we focus on the future. I am now estranged from my parents as of 3 months ago. My mom does not respect that and keeps trying to find ways to contact me, including showing up at my house unannounced. My dad has been shit-talking me to anyone he can. He battered my ex, threatened to sue us both for grandparents' rights. As soon as my divorce is signed by the judge and finalized, I'll be talking to a lawyer about getting a restraining order against my parents. All that is to explain that nothing happened between me and Raven, and why it was so hard for me to kick her out. Not only am I bad at boundaries in general, but also with major surgery, I'm in a severely weakened state as I slowly recover. I'm so thankful for my best friends coming in to help me. I say all this to preface what happened last night. I am too nice. I know I am, but it's not something I want to let go. People do take advantage of me sometimes, I know, but it's a risk of being kind, but I refuse to let my kindness go. I want to live in a world with kindness, and that always starts with yourself. I don't want to grow into a bitter old hag. Despite posting my story only yesterday, the events took place last weekend. I returned home from surgery last Friday, and it took me until Sunday to actually get Raven and Angelo out of my house. I couldn't have done it without my two best friends who helped enforce it for me. Even then, they left behind several things, some clothes, her prescription medicine, her cat, etc. This was likely so they could worm their way back into my home, though I didn't realize it at the time. Then I spent all week taking care of my kids and slowly trying to clean the house. Yesterday was custody exchange day, so now I finally have some time to just relax and recover. Yesterday, I also ran out of pain meds. I've been desperately trying to get more all week, but my surgeon is unavailable. My primary care physician is out of office. My gyno never called me back. Finally, I just went to the ER for pain management. The doctor and staff there were wonderful, but it took them a total of 7 hours. I didn't get home until after 9 p.m. At 11:45 p.m., I got a phone call from a local number that I didn't recognize. I answered. It was Raven. She was in tears. She said the house she was staying at ended up being a meth house, and they were trying to kill each other, and she was scared, and I was the only person she knew and needed to come get her. I told her I can't. I can't get her. I can't drive that much. I just got out of the ER. I'm on pain meds that make it so that I can't drive. I'm not going to put myself around druggies, especially in my current state, and I can't bring her back to my home. I need my home to be for me. Her attitude immediately shifted. The crying immediately stopped. The pitch of her voice dropped, and she said something about, "Fine, I'll get it. I'll figure it out. It's not your problem." And she hung up. I don't remember exactly, as my pain meds make my head fuzzy. After that, she texted me, "Raven, I'm sorry I asked. And can you tell me, are we not friends anymore? Did I do something really bad?" Me, "Call 911. You're in danger, and so is everyone around you. Get the police to arrest them and get you to safety." Raven, "I already did." Me, "Good." Raven, "I don't know what to do anymore. The cops are here, but they won't help. It looks like the cops left doing nothing in the process. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'll figure out something." At this point, I wrote a long message about how I can't have her back. However, I took a lot of the advice given to me on my last post, especially the criticism of people calling me a doormat, calling me naive, and saying this was my fault for being too kind. So I copied what I wrote into an AI and had it rewrite it for me so I could better enforce boundaries. Here's what I originally wrote. "You have to figure that out for yourself. I am not your rescuer. I have my own health to take care of and my own children. Besides, I have given you a lot already, and you abused that. You left my house in shambles. It's taken me all week to clean up after your stay, and there's still more to do. I've torn stitches trying to make my home safe for my kids. I'm not safe around you and Angelo. He especially scares me. I'm fairly certain he's an addict. For the time being, you're not welcome at my home. If you show up, I will call the cops, ditch that man, and get stability in your life, and I may reconsider. For now, Alvin will be well taken care of." Here's what the AI gave me. I'm really sorry you're in a frightening situation. I'm not able to help beyond encouraging you to work with emergency services and local resources. I need to be clear that I cannot be your rescuer. I cannot take on crisis support, transportation, or housing. I'm recovering from surgery and need to focus on my health and my children. Due to what happened during your stay, including the condition of my home was left in and the negative impact on my recovery from it, you and Angelo are not welcome at my home going forward. This boundary is firm. If you show up here, I will call the police. Alvin will be cared for. I wish you safety, but I cannot be involved in it anymore. Raven. So the stuff I left I can't get back. Not even my cat? Me. Please send me a list of personal items you want returned and an address where they can be shipped. I am not able to arrange in-person pickup. For Alvin, I will coordinate a drop-off with a vet or a shelter, and you can retrieve him from there. If you have a preferred vet, please let me know. Otherwise, I will select one. Raven. The stuff I don't care about. Can you just please drop my cat off that I can get him? And I'm sorry, I didn't take care of the house well enough. Just please don't throw my cat away. Can you drop him off at local vet on Monday? Whatever time I'll be there, just don't take my cat away from me. And that's it. I spent the rest of the night so scared that they would show up at my house. I already have PTSD from the army, which leaves me super paranoid that people are going to attack and harm me. So whenever conflict comes up, I end up spiraling and panicking about it, imagining scenarios over and over. Fortunately, my anxiety meds help. I locked all my doors and windows and eventually fell asleep at 1 a.m. I've been up since 5. On Monday, I plan to ask a friend to come with me to drop the cat off, and then after I leave, I will inform her that she can get him, and if she can't, well, that's not my problem. As for me, today I have some different friends dropping by to cook dinner for me and help clean my house some more. I have asked them to help me change the locks thanks to all the advice I received in my last post. Hopefully, this is the end of it. I just really want to be able to recover in peace. Edit to answer some of the questions that have been coming up. Yes, I have cameras. Yes, I am changing the locks. Yes, I have a credit monitoring subscription set up, and I will be going through that when I have the time and energy. No, I will not keep Alvin. I do not want to have anything that will invite Raven back into my home. For all of you saying I need to keep him, I welcome you to take him for yourself and subsequently invite Raven into your lives. Then you can deal with all of this and I can recover in peace. I'll let you know the location I drop him off at, and you can go pick him up before she does, if she does at all.
So my first thing is, where the consequences of your actions have come to get you by going to a flipping meth house. You decided to put yourself in that situation. Number 2, was it actually true? Because if she actually did call the police, I can bet you that at least half of that house were getting arrested for having meth there. And also, just why? Honestly, the whole situation just seems a bit, I don't know, just weird.
Yeah, so to me, the way that Raven may also be an addict, if not, she's definitely unstable, considering the way that her tone dropped and her complete personality just shifted when she said no. I understand OP with their history. I think the context of their history makes a lot of sense leading into the decisions that they made, because when you're struggling with that kind of thing, it definitely is easier to just keep the peace. You know, I was in the military. I have my own PTSD and things like that. It is definitely easier. You're constantly told to de-escalate. And a lot of times what that winds up coming off as is just a yes man, right?
Yeah.
So I can see how that training has turned OP into a pushover. But that being said, I'm glad to see that people were calling OP out.
Yeah.
That being said, I wish that they could keep the cat, because the cat doesn't seem like the cat's going to be in a safe environment.
No.
But I'm glad they dropped them off at a vet, because the vet will be at least able to rehome the animal if need be.
I'd be dropping it off at the vet and saying, right, listen, the owner that's gonna, well, I've told the original owner of the cat where the cat is, but the thing is, they are an addict. I'm gonna tell you now, as a medical professional of animals, will you it's your job now to decide whether you are going to entrust this cat back into her care with her being an addict.
Yeah. It seems to me like OP's relationship with Raven stems from something from like they're holding on to this relationship. Maybe they've been friends for a long time, and that's maybe the nostalgia of the relationship is what's making them bend over backwards for this person. I am glad that they have their best friends to help them enforce those boundaries, because not a lot of people have that. So the friends coming in and helping them until they're able to hold their own boundaries, help them enforce that and keep Raven and Angelo at a safe distance. They are MVPs for doing that. So I think that OP definitely has good people around them, but it's going to take OP time to figure out the good relationships from the bad and the ones that they've grown past and things like that. So,
and sometimes it does take a while to do that, because you have these friendships and you think that like you need a outside point of view to say, no, that's not healthy for you to be in that sort of like relationship, whether it's friendships, whether it's romantic relationships. I feel like you always need somebody that isn't part of the situation to actually just take you to the side and be like, listen, you might not want to hear this right now, but and I mean, abusive relationships are hard, like even if it is an abusive friendship, they're hard because, say for instance, that's one of your only friends and you don't have any other friends, kind of thing. It's hard to get rid of that person because they're the only other people in your life, kind of thing.
Well, and when the people that you are supposed to look up to and supposed to trust the most in this world, your parents, are also abusive. Like, I mean, the OP's dad laying hands on them and being physically abusive with them, and then the mother taking the side of the ex who was a notorious serial cheater. These are all issues that would lean into somebody forming an attachment to those friendships, because one of the quotes that sticks with me is people who grew up in chaos see peace as boredom. And that's what this screams to me, because this person grew up in such an abusive situation. They then have these friendships that are abusive, but they don't recognize it because they don't have that distance to be able to see that. But it seems like they have people who do see in their lives, in their circles, that do see it and are able to pull them out a little bit, or at least give them the support that they need from these abusive friendships. Because I mean, I hope that their recovery goes well, and God, I hope that I honestly, in a situation like this, and this might be my own issues talking, I hope this OP, once they're recovered from surgery, is able to move. Like, I'm the type of person that's like, this is big enough for me that's like, they not only know where I've lived, but they have lived where I have been living. And so, at least the cat will be okay, hopefully. Cat will be with a vet, and the cat will probably be rehomed eventually.
Yeah, we can hope.
So, all right. Well, I don't think we have enough time for another one, unfortunately. But if people like this, they can, say it in the comments, and maybe we'll do another one of these if people like it enough, when I can learn how to speak
When you can learn how to speak. Or maybe I'll read them next time.
Maybe you can read them next time and then you can learn how difficult it is. But that being said, this has been Underqualified and Over It.
If you made it this far, that's on you.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Go, 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 go.